nom nom. So I came from Midway down to a Soyuz. It's about a 53-minute drive. I did that last night. I taped the whole thing. It's over, yeah, it was about an hour for me. Google says 53 minutes. That's probably ideal conditions. So now I'm going back. My friends texted to me. I think they were just really tired and burnt out. They worked really hard. So it was like, you know, we'll see you in 3 days. So I just said, I'm not going to freeze up there. It's colder than in Soyuz, so I came down here. And now they said they're going to open up their office. It's closed. And I'm going to stay there for a while. I'm just going to use it as a workplace. I got a cable and a heater for my van, and then I'm just going to run electrical heat in the van, really nice and toasty. And then empty the van out. Start fixing it up, building, sorting, organizing, throwing away. And then the 12 days of Christmas, yeah, it's going to be interesting 12 days. This is the 13th, so I better not crash, that's all I can say. I lost my BMW on March 13th. So I'm not a suspicious person, but I still pay heed to the number 13. I don't like it. That's a Soyuz lake. I better get back on the road. Alright, we're going to be way up there in the clouds again. So I should talk with my mouth full. So somebody from Iceland, or who lives in Iceland, who's from Ireland, found my old taxi driver license lying around or something, a book of photos. Nice, eh? They contacted me on Facebook. I just found this message today. I haven't been on Facebook in a half a year. I was so disgusted with my friends in Calgary and how nobody would lift a finger to help me. I went there, I had the money, I had it was all set up, and then they spelched, balked. This is people I put up in my own place, had their crap stored in my garage. You wouldn't believe it, what I've been through with people. Unbelievable. I don't have much faith in people, but I guess if I put faith in people and I keep the faith there, somebody's going to step up to the plate sooner or later. Show me what love is. an attachment, a special attachment. I could take the case off, and then out of nowhere I could just keep straightening the damn thing. See, this way you can lean into the corner with me here. Lean. Don't drag the knee. Days when I had my Kawasaki, my KZ650, and my Yamaha Street Screamer. It's called an RZ350. It was a twin-cylinder, liquid-cooled two-stroke with Yamaha YPPS. So the Yamaha power valve was basically a variable exhaust port. It was faster than the Kawasaki, but it almost killed me. So I'm done with that stuff. Brake, 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 brake. Stuff rolls around. Then I moved over to mountain bikes, continued crashing on them. Now I'm a hiker. Thanks, Cato. If you're gonna go onto my YouTube channel, this will be up there when you, by the time you receive my message, wherever you are. Maybe you're flying over the Atlantic Ocean or something right now. I think you found that in Calgary. Yeah, thanks. Like I said, from the bottom of my heart, and yeah, it's weird how life is, you know. These are, in the modern times, the miracles will happen, I think, you know. It's just a miracle, just because of the way we've got the world set up now. People can communicate. It is a miracle, you know. She saw the name on the license and then searched Facebook for a likely person. I don't know how she... Yeah, I mean, Tim Helmer, Calgary, you can put the city in... There's only one other Tim Helmer in Calgary, Alberta. I met his wife. I just called up and she was on the phone. She said, hi, I would say hi, I'm Tim Helmer. Well, we ended up talking for like 5 hours. And well, you know where that was going. I didn't really want to, you know, it's just Tim Helmer, the imposter, you know. So yeah, some nice scratch. It's a bit scratchy. Maybe there's a YouTube license on this, and it'll say copyright. Strauss has got a copyright on this one. I like Strauss Christmas music. I want to get some of that on my. I'm gonna do some really interesting videos. I've got two Android phones, an Android tablet, and a Windows 10 laptop that's running BlueStacks, which is an Android environment, and it's running under Hyper-V, so it'll run multiple instances. I can't believe the shit I can do now. It's unbelievable. I've never had this much computing power at my fingertips. I'm just gonna log like a freak. You won't believe it. You will not believe it, people. I'm gonna be, well, hopefully. I don't mean to be like super competitive or anything, but I mean, I wanna show people my style, I guess, and then they can maybe I'm gonna have like a how-to page help. I'll pour it all out, put it all down, everything I've done, what I've learned, and why I use the tools I do, and it'll all just be free information. If I resurrect my 50 websites, my domain. The one I'm missing is I had a site called Mountain. And it was a collection of the great mountains in the world, and I scraped YouTube or Wikipedia for the information. with, of course, a reference giving citation to Wikipedia. But it was a wicked wiki, little mini wiki on the mountains, and it had like an expandable accordion style drop-down list. It was a JavaScript. I like that. So I want to basically take that idea, that list, and I want to create a taxonomy of the ultimate taxonomy of everything, like the symbolic nature, the symbolically self-similar nature of everything, because that is probably taught me more about. I mean, it's the weirdest thing. Most people don't even know what I'm talking about. Stick around. I'm going to try and explain it all. It's not for everyone. So this guy, I'm just going to drop back here. I'm probably just drop back, let that go. Okay. Still going to get sprayed, but if he's up there, the mist sort of settles down. I should settle down. Water. Wonder what water is in Dutch. I'm still working on boy and girl. Die vrouw. Die vrouw. Nee, die vrouw. Nee, nee. Nee, nee. Oh, ah. Ah. As my grandmother always used to say, ach. You're daft, buddy. You're daft. Yeah, maybe I've got some new friends I've friended Chata on Facebook. And yeah, I found a Tim Helmer in Belgium. Helmer is like a Dutch name. I'm mostly Scottish, but I always talk about that Dutchman, Flying Dutchman, the man who stole my Scottish heritage. It's all just a joke, though. I don't mind. It's good to have a mix. Good to be a Heinz 50-something, Besides, the Northern Europeans are mostly like that. Anyways, there are Vikings, and there's all sorts of people, and French people, and Germans, and it's all just one big happy family as far as I'm concerned. Should be, anyways. Too fast again. Slow down, Tim. Slow down. Let that guy go. Let him go. Let him go. Let's zoom in on his license plate. No, let's not. Do you think I should pass him? I'm pretty speedy. Guy in the van with about a ton of gear. Actually, this thing is not even close to being loaded. The capacity is 3,500 pounds. And so when you look at the thing on the way it sits now, it looks like the rear wheels are on a lift kit and the front is down, like it's like wedge shaped. Someone said, "Hey, that's a cool van. I'm gonna make it cooler." I've got some crazy ideas. I could have a unicorn van. Now I'd probably get shot at if I do that. Yeah, like put a little. I think the true unicorn, the horn of a unicorn, is a stylized tree. If you've noticed that it's a spiral like the tooth of a narwhal, but the way trees were decorated in the past, people spiral the lights down. All I know is the constellation Monoceros. That's where the Christmas tree cluster is, and I think it's because of the colors of the stars. I don't know. I'll have to look at it. And this is just the way, the people associated all this in the past. The sky was a fanciful place where they connected the dots and made all these constellations. So, but anyways, you can actually make a directional antenna, a Wi-Fi antenna, and this guy's got this how-to thing. It's about $10 in supplies, and it looks like a unicorn horn. I swear, it's a white spiral thing. I thought, well, why not just have like a little Christmas tree? It's mounted on the front hood here, and this thing would almost look like a unicorn, And but it would be optional. I mount it there, and then the little LED lights will flicker. But really, what's inside of it is the directional antenna or something. I don't know. I'll figure it out. videos, and then they'll stay clean now. Our friend just pulled off. Where's your sorry? Can you hear the radio? It's scratchy. Oh no, I got this.
This has been satisfying for these difficult times. Go out and do what you need, but stay home. Stay
I like scratchy
Stay
radio.
connected. Stay tuned.
Muffled.
The pandemic, politics, and other
No.
stories of 2020 aren't ending just because
No.
we do.
Hey, what happened to the cloud deck?
So brilliant.
I guess we're above it now. Hey, look, there's Santa
This is
Claus.
the morning edition from NPR News every weekday.
12 noon time for...
Hey, Santa! Oh, Santa Squatch. Yeah, that's a Sasquatch there. And they've dressed him up like Sas. That particular subdivision is called Sasquatch. And they've got a giant pewter or cast iron statue of a Sasquatch.
All right, Kate. Yeah, I want to start with you. Parental leave.
Oh yeah, there's the
It's an idea.
this guy. That's an elk.
Okay.
He's just got Christmas decorations on his hampers.
To a fellow by the name of Jean-Baptiste Pierre-Antoine Monet Chevalier.
Jean-Baptiste?
Jean-Baptiste Chevalier, who, according to what I'm saying, he was really one of the first grand theorists in biology. His big idea was that what a person does in their lifetime can be directly asked to their kids very easily. His famous example was giraffes. Lamarck said, you want to know how a giraffe got its name? One day this giraffe was a giraffe. So he was looking up a tree and saw some fruit, and he had to stretch the neck and stretch again. Whole lifetime of stretching. And when she had a baby, stretching got to the baby. And then that baby was stretching, did a little more stretching to its baby. And eventually, over millennia, what we get is a creature with a very because they're reaching for the tops of trees. He thought it worked with humans too. His example with humans was a blacksmith. He thought that because they're swinging hammers all day, they got big bulky muscles, and then they would pass the muscles to their children. The sneaky idea here is that the blacksmiths, the giraffes, they made it happen. They will the neck to get longer, the muscles to get bigger. And the key point is that it wasn't something inborn in them. It was something they acquired during their life, which they passed to their kids. Right. And that's... we're wrong. That's not how it works. We're told. We now know that's not the case.
We might have shifted further this way.
Nice.
Yeah. No, it's heavier now.
Let's read the book first. Because, you know, now that I've got these two kids, right? I find myself thinking, like, okay, I know these kids have their genes, have their
No, that's shifted that way.
I know
gotta find the center of
change
mass.
those genes.
There, like that.
I know fate is going to give them a couple of random mutations in those genes. And I have no control over who. That's cold logic, Darwinian evolution. It's offensive. I mean, the idea that they could be constrained by their DNA.
I could put an extra magnet on this. I got some spare magnets, and if I put it on the mount, it'll double the. Well, it'll make it a stronger magnetic field. That will probably.
So what you do, I think all parts of
This cover is like a dielectric. It's blocking. It has a magnetic permeativity, which is not
you
zero.
could somehow, by just being nice to them in the stories, you could somehow break them free of it. Rewrite their blueprint? Like, you don't really say it to yourself that way, but yeah, you'd make a deep difference. Yeah, like you can help them overcome you.
I don't know.
You can. I know. I know. No. It took one that you fixed, and change does not happen in a generation or two. It happens really slowly, gradually, achingly slowly. One parent stretching and then doing it. See, that's the bummer of Darwinian evolution. As a parent, you are a tiny gorilla. A very, very long story. This hour, we're going to fight this sort of sad sack feeling of inevitability. And do like the so-called rules of parents. That's right. Today on Radio Lab, we're going to lick some rats, starve some sweets, sterilize some women. No, we're not going to kill ourselves. We're going to play the stories where these things actually happen. Yes. I'm Chad. This is Radio Lab. Stick around. It's gonna get messy.
Okay, so let's get going and stick with your boy Lamar just for a second. Because we were talking to science writer Charles Lamar, and he told us that back in the early 1900s, this tension between Lamarck and Darwin got extra tense.
Yeah.
In a sort of fascinating way.
Right. And it all started in Vienna at this really marvelous place called the Vivarium. Yeah. This was a really radical place at the time because you have to remember that people said it was, up till now, they were basically, studying, preserved specimens. So at the Vivarium, as the name suggests, they had live animals. It was like a zoo. Well, it was a zoo where there was all sorts of experiments going on. The fact is that taking care of animals, kind of keeping them alive in a building is not an easy thing, especially if it's 1906.
But luckily for the Vivarium and for our story, they had a guy.
Paul Kammerberg. Who was he? So he
And when was it?
he was born in 1880 in Vienna, Jewish family, and he already had this reputation for being amazing at keeping animals alive that otherwise would just die.
So, of course, the folks at the Vivarium asked him
To build these terrariums and aquariums and stock them with animals.
including...
I wanna be a head of
particular
logger instead of
amphibian
logger in my
that
head.
was part of the story.
The midwife
That's a joke.
toad.
Get it?
The
Logger?
midwife toad.
I like a bit of
That's Robbie
lager.
Sam Keenigan.
It's always better than the frontal
He says what you
lobotomy,
need
a
to
bottle
know
in front
about
of me.
Midwife toad. Basically, the
Yep.
midwife toad has a strange habit for toad. Most toads, he says,
But
love
not
to stay in
lager
the water.
anymore,
They
just
like to
hoppy
be on the
beers,
water.
IPA.
Females like to lay eggs in the water.
It's
Midwife
nutritious
toad,
and
the female lays her eggs
relaxing.
on land, and then the male midwife toad comes along, grabs the eggs, and actually kind of sticks them to his back legs, like a bunch of whitish grapes, and then hops around with them, basically until they hatch. So he's got to live his life as a toad.
Hey, guy, wait.
It's
cool. People out here are so cool. And now we're up in Alberta. Well, it's not Alberta, but I'm going to turn the radio off for a while. I can't remember this chalet up here. This is all prairie now. We're in, it's like this is the grasslands in Western Canada are more or less at an altitude of at least 1,000 or 2,000 feet. The whole continent is lifted up. I don't think there are places in Saskatchewan. Edmonton's lower than Calgary. It's about 2,000 feet. Calgary is about 3,400. Not as high as Denver. But it's all prairie, grassland. Cattle country up here. Now, there's a guy. I've seen them up there. Not now, though. They're off to winter pastures or something. Or maybe they're in a barn. Or worse, they were taken to slaughter. I don't think we should slaughter the animals. It's bad. No more slaughtering. Why don't we breed unicorns instead? Maybe we can do it, eh? Get narwhal DNA and combine it with a horse or something like that. Then we could make a rainbow unicorn too. We could get the iridescent plumage of, like, say, hummingbirds, find the gene, and then splice that into an albino, a white type of those white horses. And then it'll be like rainbow unicorn. It's gonna happen probably. Somebody will do it. Maybe at Tea Garden, when I read my book, Journey to Tea Garden Star, when I arrive there, it'll be bizarre. It'll be like some sort of a fantasy land or something, maybe, right? Yeah. And in orbit around Tea Garden Star there'll be a room with a door, and it'll be this room with like a purple and lime green room, and it's orbiting around the planet. Have my sensors scanning, and I think the ship will report, sorry Tim, the room is closed for observation. There's no, cannot penetrate the shielding. It's a secure vault, and so it's going to remain a mystery to him what's on the inside. That's what's going to happen. Of golden grasses and rows and rows and rows of and columns, three-dimensional garden landscapes, ivory towers, metallic pyramids. Cubes of water floating with strange sea creatures in a three-dimensional cube of water that's flying through the air with the clouds. And a frozen lake. And underneath that frozen lake, the creatures are preying on each other. The weird animals struggling to survive with no light. And they develop all these strange neurochemicals where they can see at night and glow like rainbows in the dark water. And neurochemicals to make their minds more active, to give them an advantage somehow to survive. Icy up here. Don't lose control. Spaceship to 10. Ground control. It's calling you. Don't crash the ship. And now we go down into Rock Creek. And up here is the Christian Valley. I've never been up the Christian Valley. There's a lot of religious people up here. That's what religious people do. They go to the country and they live out in a natural setting, I think. I like it like that. It's good that way. Time for a lunch. Sorry about the grand. I just lost 15 subscribers. No, actually, that would put me at negative 12. That's not going to happen. So I got this stuff in my hands, like my hands are really, I got this like scar tissue on the back of my hands from this just one night. And my hands were puffy for like a month. I don't know what the hell people I was hanging around with. I don't know who they are or what they are, I don't care. So anyways, this stuff is, it reminds me of this other stuff. It's got like, it's a whipped hand balm. It's not any of the, it's not like it's called Naturally You. It doesn't have any, it's got like watermelon and grapefruit. And it smells like this stuff I tried before. Someone had this stuff in a little pink thing. It was from the Body Shop. And I noticed when I put it on my face, like your skin just exfoliates. Or like some people go to all sorts of trouble if they have thick skin to exfoliate. But this stuff, it just dissolved the dead skin cells, and they would come off like little white boogers, you know, little round soft balls, and your skin would just be smooth, like baby soft after. And so I got this. This is a hand. It's formulated for the hands, so it's a little thick, but I'm putting that on my face anyways. My face is thick anyway, so let's put that on there. I got a little bit of a dermatitis from, especially in the winter, because I don't have heat. There's a yeast called myosine that grows on the human body. Most people have it. Some people just seem to be allergic to it. With me, I have to, keep my skin clean. In the past, like coal tar solution, ketoconazole, all sorts of toxic, really bad stuff. Selenium, sulfate. Don't use Selsun Blue. Don't use. But Head and Shoulders okay. That's it's called zinc pyrothone. It'll burn a little bit, but I just put it on quickly and wash it off, and it seems to really do a good job. But there's all sorts of natural stuff I'm going to try. There's a salicylic acid shampoo, and then there's olive oil, coconut oil. You rub that on your skin, and there's like peppermints. I've got peppermint drops and spray that makes it kind of your skin feels really good after you put that stuff on. So there's all sorts of I like to do it myself. To do it yourself remedies, because it would cost like $20. Well, the peppermint oil did. It was the peppermint oil concentrate. It was $20. I thought, well, maybe I should have just bought some peppermint gum. But this stuff smells really good. It smells exactly like that stuff from the Body Shop. And so when this stuff gets in your skin, if it takes off, and, like when I shaved my beard off, I don't have a beard anymore, which is for the first time in like 20 years. I noticed that there was, you can't really clean under the beard. So every now and then I go through this thing where I'm shedding. It's like dandruff all over my shirt, Gets skin. So this helps. This stuff just like softens it up, and I can just use a towel and rub it off the dead skin.